Hello students. Hello students. Good afternoon. Hope you had a nice lunch. Welcome to the second session on resumes. This is part of your foundation course of ICAI. We had a very interesting first session. Lots of give and take. We solved a few exercises and it was an engaging one. And I was very happy with the responses what you gave on the chat windows. So I would expect the same level of commitment, the same level of cooperation, the same level of support and involvement in this afternoon's lecture. So let's get back to our session. So as an icebreaker, we've just come back from lunch. So, let's break the ice, and I'm going to share my screen, and there are about 4 cartoons where, you will which basically are jokes and about your resume. So just bear with me whilst I share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible? So this is the first cartoon. Well, there is an interviewer and there is an interviewee. And he obviously from the dialogues you can see, your resume looks good. However, I would limit it from 17,000 pages to 3 from now. So we have all learned a resume should be 2 to 3 pages long. But what this gentleman had done, he had actually done a very detailed one and wrote about 17,000 pages. You can see the pages all stood over. So the interviewer is actually saying, everything is good, your resume is fine, but I would like it to be limited from 17,000 pages to 3 from now on. Let's go on to the second one. In our resume, we said that we also list down our skills and our qualities and our abilities and expertise, right? Now, this particular person who's an interviewer, he must have taken interviews for a long period of time. He would have interviewed numerous candidates. But when he saw the resume of this candidate, he felt amused. You know why? Because he's saying, the candidate is saying that he has an ability to smell fear. So this actually, is very humorous, and we chuckled the interviewer also. He's saying that an ability to smell fear is a quality I have never seen listed on any resume before, right? So another funny thing. Let's go to the next one. So the candidate, he brings a large resume, which the interviewer, is holding on to. So what he's saying, he's saying, I want my resume to be the one you remember. So it is so long, but it is also available as a music video, interpretative dance, and haiku. So he's giving all possible options. The final one, there's an interview happening. Interviewer is asking questions, right? There is a candidate. However, that candidate, she has, just written two words. She's not talking about herself. She's not talking about her skills. She's not talking about her education. She's not talking about her work history. She is saying, Google me. So the interviewer is saying, I appreciate your achievements are probably considerable, but writing Google me is not an alternative CV. So you should have a resume. You just cannot say that lots and lots of information about me is given in Google. Please refer to Google, right? So on this note, I'm stopping the screen sharing now, and I'm going back to our lecture, right? So we all have now studied the 3 different formats of a resume. One, chronological, the other is functional, the third is combination. Chronological, functional, combination, right? Okay. Now, there are advantages, disadvantages of all the 3 formats, right? Merits, demerits of all the 3 formats, but they are helpful for people who, each format is helpful for people who have got different skill sets, or who who may have numerous years of working experience with them, right? So let's talk about chronological resume format. So what are the advantages? One, it is very commonly used. Second, it will show the career advancements. In your career, you would have gone from a staff accountant level to the CFO of your company. So it shows your career advancements. It shows which companies you work for. It also emphasizes your work experience in different companies in the finance function, what kind of work you have done. So work experience, your career advancements are nicely depicted in a chronological format of a resume. Now, what happens is that suppose there are gaps in the employment, and you have a chronological format. What will come out is what the gap is in employment. The person who reads your resume, he will say, "Arey, but you are not employed in so and so years." So it shows gaps in employment, right? Second disadvantage of chronological format is that it doesn't emphasize your skills, abilities, and expertise. You're obviously qualified for the job. You have the skills, but in a chronological format, the skills and abilities are not coming out, are not depicted in the right manner. For whom it is best suited? A job seeker with highly relevant work experience. So the interviewer knows that he's got so much of experience in different companies for so many years. So because of the chronological format, it becomes easy to get the information what he wants. Now let's come to the second format, functional format. What are the advantages? It focuses on your skills and abilities. Work experience, very little less is written, but it focuses on what you are capable of, what you can provide to the company, how you can add value, how you are an asset. So it focuses on your expertise, skills, and all your strengths and personality traits, right? So what is the obvious disadvantage if you write your resume in the functional format? That the work experience is de-emphasized. You are not giving information or you're hiding information about work experience. So this type of format is used by people who are either freshers, who have got no work experience, or people who have had long and numerous career gaps in their life. Yeah. So let's go to the third type of resume. The third type of resume, which is a combination format. The combination format, right? So let's say, what is the advantage of a combination format? One, it provides equal emphasis on skills as well as work experience, right? Secondly, it helps you to intelligently use your experience, education with skills to form a good impression. So it combines the best elements of the earlier two formats, right? Disadvantages are that, wherever there are gaps in your work history, it will still continue to be highlighted. But most job seekers, nowadays are also turning towards combination format of a resume, right? So with this note, let us now come to some points to remember while you write a resume, right? Please keep the format simple format. Don't make it very complex. Don't make it confusing. Have a logical format, a logical flow to the format. Simple format. Secondly, make it readable. The person who reads should not get bored. Okay, he should not be distracted. Use the correct words. Third, keep it short, keep it crisp, because you have to engage the attention of the reader, right? The next point is that restrict it to a number of pages. Quite frankly, there is nothing called ideal length, but try to keep it short and crisp. 2 to 3 pages would do to sustain the interest of the prospective employer or the trainer, right? As I said earlier, write your objective very properly. Write the objective very properly. Do not use a broad objective statement. Broad, generic, all these things will not help. Be very specific in writing your objective statement. Okay, next. Please provide correct information. Don't use false details. Don't lie to the interviewer. Don't have exaggerations. Predict, depict whatever you are really as a person, what strengths you have, and the right information about your work history and your education experience. Why? Because your resumes are subject for verification. The employers or can engage background check agencies who will actually do a background check about your work experience, about your employment history, and they will actually come to find out that all you stated is exaggerated or it was false. Right? Then make sure you organize your information in a logical way. Don't break into paragraphs or into bullet points just for the sake of it. Make sure there's a good flow for that, your resume. Please ensure your tone should be neutral. Tone of your resume should be neutral. It should not have any bias towards any community or any religion. Right? Next, ensure that your resume should be free of grammatical errors. Why? Because we already said first impressions always count. If you write in improper English with wrong use of grammar, with lots of spelling mistakes, the impression what is going to be carried to the prospective employer is not going to be a good one. So make sure that you do a thorough spell check, thorough proof check about your grammar before you finalize your resume. Right? People have another tip. What I would like to give you is that people have, like a tendency to talk about responsibilities. Right? I worked as general manager. I worked as vice president of finance. I worked as sales manager. I worked as chief of IT. Don't talk about responsibilities only. Talk also about achievements. That as a general manager of finance department, I reduced the interest rate on my capital by 2%. So highlight your achievements. Why? Because these are actual result-oriented facts which would impress the prospective employer. He would not be just interested in the responsibilities that you have had in your career, but will also be equally interested in the achievements what you've done in your career. Some people have a habit of also writing the expected salary. My tip is that unless you're asked for, do not mention salary figures. Do not mention salary figures unless you're specifically asked for. Why? Because every company has its own budgets. Every company has got its own bandings for the salary brackets. So if you quote unnecessarily higher sum of money, you will run the risk of being rejected. If you quote a very less sum of money, it will sound that you are desperate for the job, hence you are quoting for less salary. So unless you are specifically asked to do so, do not mention your expected salary in the resume, right? Now let's go to the next one. Okay, on contact information. On contact information, right? Now I've told you what all information you should write in contact information, right? So let's quickly use our chat window and write what should go in the contact information, right? After your name will be your contact information. Please write in your chat window what all should be mentioned under the heading of contact information. Please write in your chat window. I will check your answers in 5 minutes time. Okay, I can see now. I can see some of the answers. Name, address, phone number, LinkedIn profile, email address. Good, very good. Kushagranath Triwari, Priyanka, Priyanka, address, phone number, email ID, yeah, LinkedIn profile also you can mention. Mobile number, office landline, okay. Kojima, but your office landline you are saying, okay, fine. Contact number, email ID, okay. Bhumika is writing phone number, email ID, address, LinkedIn profile if available. Ankit is writing phone number, email address. So fine, fairly good attempt, fairly good attempt. Let's quickly summarize what all we need to do. So one is name के बाद जो contact information आएगा. So you have your phone number, right? Phone number. Now, suppose if you're working somewhere, right? Suppose if you're working somewhere, would you give your personal phone number or your work number? Always better to give your personal phone number. Why? Because you can be contacted directly instead of somebody in your office picking the call. So give your personal phone number. Give exact location if possible. Why? Because some of the vacancies clearly talk about local candidates which they are going to prefer. उनको local candidates चाहिए, so they would prefer local candidates. So specify the exact location. Right? Then, of course, email address everybody has got. Everybody has got. Try to have an email ID which has got sufficient amount of space, web space, right? Why? Because what happens is that some of the emails what you would receive from your prospective employer, just because you don't have space, just because you have got space constraints, that thing should not be rejected, or it should not be like that. You should check your spam folder regularly, right? So make sure that your email ID has sufficient web space with you, right? Now I've spoken to you about LinkedIn profile. Why LinkedIn profile? Because LinkedIn is a professional networking organization. So on that, the job seekers also keep giving the resumes. The job providers or the prospective employers, they also give lots of information and their vacancies in the job section. So it is easy to, say in your resume about your LinkedIn profile. Why? Because anybody can just go to the LinkedIn profile and then see what you have done, where you work. So in case somebody has not written all the relevant information in the resume, still the LinkedIn profile also can be helpful in that way. Right? Then make sure that again I am saying the contact information should be correct, because people are going to contact you only on your contact information. So don't make mistakes in your address, in your email ID, in your telephone number or cell phone number, and in your LinkedIn profile URL. Fine. Okay. Then as we had discussed earlier, all your resume, right? All your resume should have a headline or a summary. It should have a headline or a summary. A one-line description, a concise one-line description of who you are as a candidate. What is the resume headline? It is a concise one-line description of who you are as a candidate, right? So it should normally include words from the job posting, ideally job title, right? So for example, the job posting is seeking a accounts manager. So for the resume which you're going to apply for that position, you can say accounts manager having 20 years of experience, right? So what is the importance of having a well-written headline? The importance and the advantage is that it will grab a recruiter's attention quickly. Headline, if it is attention-worthy headline, it will encourage them to take a more detailed look at your qualifications, at your work history and other details. If you write a boring headline, the interest levels will drop down. So make sure that your resume headline is a very concise, clear one-line description about you. It should be a powerful addition to your resume, because it is often the first thing a recruiter reads, right? Make sure that your first impression is always a strong impression. It will come only when you have a good headline or a summary headline to your resume. So as I said, keep it short. Try to write it under 10 words, right? But do write it. Do write it. Because what happens is that, like it will help you to, communicate to recruitments and hiring managers that you are the best fit for that particular job. So on that note, I am going to give you a small exercise of about 5 minutes time. Please write down a very effective resume headline or a summary. Do not make it a long sentence. Please keep it short. Please use lesser words and write a effective headline. Write an effective headline about you as a candidate, and you are applying for the job of a general manager accounts. You are applying for a job of general manager accounts. So your resume should have a good headline which will talk about yourself, who is the best fit for the general manager accounts position. So students, please start your activity. I will check in some minutes time. So go to your chat window and write a good resume headline for the role of a general manager accounts in a company. Okay, guys, let me see what you written. Okay, I've got only one reply from Bhumika, an expert in accounts and a good in managing things. So Bhumika, one tip I can tell you is that you are referring, you are applying for the post of a general manager accounts, right? So in your resume, you could have said that, general manager accounts experience of 20 years in XYZ Limited, having also supervised finance and costing functions, something like that, to become more impactful, right? Anybody else has written? I think I can see only Bhumika who's written the summary headline. Nobody has attempted. What happened? Nobody's attempted. I cannot see other answers. Okay, let me go to the next one because I don't think I'm seeing a lot of responses. Only Bhumika has managed to do it, right? I'm going to the next thing. So after the resume headline, I'm coming to the objective statement. As I had said clearly that every resume should have an objective. What you want to do, what you perceive, what is your career aim. As a student, it will be different. As a job seeker who has worked for a lot of years in industry, it is going to be different. Objective is what? Some aim, some vision, some goal in your mind. So you have to clearly state. Don't be too generic in your objective. Be very clear, neat, concise objective statement you have to write. So you can say that your objective would be like to head the finance function in the company, or in case you want to become the CEO of a company, or you can say I would like to like be the leader of a multinational company having worldwide operations, but some objective in mind you should have. Or you can say that you want to become a professional who's valued for his expertise and knowledge, but some objective you should keep in mind, and that has to be clearly stated in every resume. So I'm hoping that you have understood what's the objective statement. I'm hoping you have understood. So can I ask you now to write an objective statement? I need you to write an objective statement. Now you are a job seeker and you've spent about 15 years of working. Now you are applying for a job to be, let's say, on the higher position in a company. So what would be your objective? A person who's worked for 15 years in different industries, if you are that person, what would be your career objective? Please write down in your chat window. Please write down an objective statement for a person who spent about 15 years working in different industries. Please write. I want to see some good input in your chat window. Okay, what Ankit has written is objective is I am very enthusiastic and determined, but that is not objective. Objective is what you want to do in your career, right? So I gave you an example that this person for whom you're going to write the objective statement has spent 15 years working in different companies. So what would be his objective statement be? Come on, please think and write. Please think and write accordingly. Okay, is there anybody else who's written? So, okay, Jyoti is saying, I want to become the CFO of the company. Fine, Jyoti. So, because your objective would be to become the chief financial officer of a company. Good. One of them is good. So, Jyoti, you made a good attempt. Okay. Who's the next? Who's the next? Mayur is saying great master in accounting. So basically, Mayur, your objective would be to achieve, mastery in accounting field in my career. Okay. Who's the next? Kojema is saying become the CEO of Tata Motors. Okay, fine, Kojema. Yeah. Okay, good. Priyanka is the objective. Collectively work. Actually, she's seeking for a job. But Priyanka, this is not your objective, right? Your objective should be, like to achieve some level. So you can probably change it a little bit. Or you can say that I'm looking to provide value addition activities to my prospective company because of my strength of 15 years of work experience. So where you can forcefully, convince that person to, look into your resume. Okay, I think we've got some amount of responses. Let us go to the next title. Okay, so as I said, resume should not include all the things about you, right? It should include only the relevant things, only pertinent things, only the most important things. Otherwise, as we saw in the cartoon, you might end up in pages and pages. So the idea is that to fit into 2 or 3 pages maximum, be very specific in giving your details, right? Now, always focus on the most important things what you've done, most important skills or most important achievements. No need of writing, that you won the first prize in some sports activities in 4th standard. It is wrong. You are applying for a job, the most impressive achievement, whatever you would have done, right, till date, or some prize, that you have to bring it. So if you are able to demonstrate it, well and good. Like you can say that you achieved a monthly closing in 2 days time, or you achieved targets in before the time, or something like that. So be specific while using your numbers and make sure that you are using only the important and the most impressive achievements, right? Now, any company, right, who's going to recruit to you is going to have a look at your resume. Now, we saw that there's a chronological format of resume. We saw there's a functional format of resume. We have seen there's a combination format of resume, right? Now, whether it's a chronological format or a combination format, right, you are going to have list of all your companies where you work, the job titles, the kind of roles you've demonstrated, and the period worked, right? So what you should do is that in case you have got no gaps in your career, make sure this information is easy to find, right? Easy to find. And have subheadings if possible. So company, job location, job title, start date, end date, responsibilities, right? So what you're going to write is that you're going to write, let's say start date. You can say April 2020 till date. working with XYZ Limited at Mumbai, and the job title is, let's say, General Manager Accounts. So what you're going to write in when you write about work experience is list down the name of the company, the job location, your job title, brief description, start and end dates. 5 things you're going to do. 5 things you're going to do. So company, location, job title, start and end dates. The last is brief responsibilities. So I'm going to give you a exercise. You are going to write 2 job experiences, imaginary job experiences. So you are going to have 5 things coming out in those 2 examples. One is company, where it was situated, the location, what was your job title, the start and end dates, and the responsibilities you had. So quickly in your chat window, I'm going to give you 5 minutes of time. Please write down your job experiences, work experiences for 2 companies. So company 1, company 2 with the dates. Okay. So 5 things you're going to write: name of the company, location, title, start and end dates, and responsibilities. One example, same thing, another example. So write in your chat window and submit, and we will regroup. The time is 14:42. So I'm giving you about 3 or 4 minutes per example. So we'll regroup at 14:50. I'm giving you about 8 minutes. Yeah. Please complete. I want to see good response now. well laid out. People have attempted it very nicely. One common thing, what I would like to tell you all is that always also give responsibilities in brief. So write one or two lines as responsibilities, right? Now I would like you to write down on your accomplishments or achievements. So achievements or accomplishments can be of two types. One is professional, the other is personal. One is professional, the other is personal. So in terms of profession, you can say that you achieve targets of the company within 10 days of the deadline, or you can say that you are the best employee of the company, or you can say the number one employee in the accounts team for year, or you can say that you have achieved a cost saving of 2% in your company. So try to include most impressive, most important accomplishments or achievements, both in professional and personal section. So using your chat window, what I would like to request all of you is to complete the accomplishment sections or achievement section. Okay. So please attempt and write it in your chat window. I will be checking these responses in a short period of time. Accomplishments, most impressive and most important achievements which you've had in your professional career as well as in your personal life, right? Please write imaginative achievements in your chat window. I'll be checking that. Okay, I'm going to see the responses now. Somehow only 2 responses. Okay, you are writing about personal things. I write in an imaginary way about your professional achievements also. Okay, Sarvesh is the first person who is giving it. Best employee, yes. Promotion, first in the college, prizes. Sarvesh has done a good attempt, yes. So has okay, Bhumika, you can you've written your points, but you can actually give it headings. So professional achievements will be followed by personal achievements. But otherwise, it's good. Okay. Till now, I think Sarvesh has written properly. Samir, you are talking only about your personal things and do not write about nursery class because it will not have any meaning because now you are going to be a professional, right? Kojema, you're writing about 10th and 12th standard, that's okay. But please write something about your profession also. Write some imaginary lines. Imaginary lines. Okay, I can see only Sarvesh and Bhumika who have given the responses. I am not understanding why others are not writing. We need better responses. You have to use this as a platform for your studies and for revision. Okay, I can see Priyanka, are my answers reaching to you? No, I can't. I have not seen. Uh, Mayur is saying, sir, my comments are visible. No, Mayur, I cannot see your comments. I cannot see your comments. I can see only one comment from Mayur in RIL daily income 100 crores, but I don't think it is with reference to my question of accomplishments. So till now, I think only Sarvesh and Bhumika have really understood and have attempted the exercise for achievements or accomplishments. So well done, Sarvesh. Well done, Bhumika. Let's go to the next section. Let's go to the next section now. Okay. Now, all of you would know that in a competitive job market, there are hordes and hordes of CVs, plenty of CVs, right, which are given in response to any advertisement. Now, what happens is that in big corporations or in large organizations, they use certain kinds of softwares, right, which are called as ATS. What is ATS? Applicant tracking systems, right? So what they do is these systems, they do a skimming of your resume and search for the most important and matched attribute, right? So what they do is that they sort, filter all the job applicants and actually, like filter, meaning whatever are not applicable or whatever do not fit the job, they are filtered out. So what happens is that these ATS or applicant tracking systems, are used by, let's say, 99% of the Fortune 500 companies to sort, filter, and search applicants. So in case your resume is too generic, right? It is too generic, then the chances of you getting shortlisted are very less. So what I always try to tell you is that list relevant, pertinent, important, impressive information. Why? Because this ATS, if you want to work for a large company, the only way your resume is going to be shortlisted is by, use of such softwares which will actually pick it up for review. So make sure that all important, pertinent, relevant details are noted down in your resume and present it in a manner which is engaging and appealing, not just for your reader, but also it attracts the attention of the ATS in the first place, right? Now let's go to the next one. Now let's go to the next section, which is your education section. Education, right? Now all of your CA students, right? So maybe for you the basic education is like your graduation degree, or if I can stretch further, it will be a 12 standard marks. So nothing beyond that. Suppose you are a CA, then only your CA and your graduation. So you don't have to even go back, right? So what basically in your education, what you're going to do is that you are going to write the name of the institution, the degree given, years attended, and the fourth is any award, any merit rank, any certification, what you've got. Four things आपको लिखने का है. Four things. Name of the institution, what degree you have got or what examination you passed, years attended, any awards, merits, ranks, or certifications. Now, if you ask me what I will write, Chartered Accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Years attended is 1993 to 1996. And in the award section, I will say first attempt cleared by final exams and 48th all over India in my intermediate exams. So that's a merit for me. Okay. So you're going to write four things, right? Name of the institution, degree you have achieved, years attended, and any awards or merits or ranks you got. So write your most recent 2 educational qualifications in your chat window now. I'll be checking in about 5 minutes time. So most recent educational certifications, right? You can also go into imagination mode. Don't write only for yourself. Just imagine that you are writing for a senior person. But I would like you all to attempt to write your educational and certification details in your chat window so that it serves as a practice to you and I will correct it. So write 4 things: name of the institution, degree, years attended, and any awards, merits, prizes given. I want it for 2 certifications or 2 educational milestones. 2. Yeah. So all the best. Please write in your chat window. I will have a look at 3:15 p.m. I will have a look. Okay, guys, I'm going to check. Okay, the first one is Kojima, MS University, Bachelor's in Commerce, ranked one, right? Okay, one chess championship. Uh, we were talking about Kojima, we were talking about your educational qualifications, right? Why are you mentioning chess championship? I don't know. Okay, and the format I was giving to you is that name of the institution, right? Then degree given, years attended, and any prizes, awards, merits, certifications, something like that. So try to put it in that. Otherwise, it's okay. Mayur, ICAI, degree CA, year date 2026. Okay. Final course rank. Okay. Mayur has written it well. Mayur has written. Mayur, आपको सिर्फ लिखने का years attended from 2023 to 2026. You have to write like that. Years from and to, right? Then Priyanka is saying MBA 2019 to 20. I am Indore, Madhya Pradesh, BBA, CAM, okay, fine. Omati, BCom, Delhi University, fine, okay. Okay, Sarvesh, degree, HSC, SSC, CA final, fine. So most of you have got it right. Most of you have got it right. So what I wanted to see is that just 4 points: name of the institution, the degree which you received, years attended, years, not year, years. So आपको लिखने का था 2012 to 2015 or something like that, and any award, any merit prize, or any certification or distinction what you've got from that university. Okay, now let's go to the next section. Let's go to the next section, right? Now is the section where you're going to give other information, other matters, right? In that, in that, you are going to write only 4 things. ज़्यादा नहीं लिखना है, ज़्यादा नहीं लिखने का है. You are going to write about your age and date of birth. Number one, age and date of birth. Immediate family members, though. You can. 3, languages known. 4th is extracurricular activities. For example, if I give you mine, I will say my age is 49 years. I have my date of birth is 17th October 1972. Immediate family is mother, my wife, and 2 daughters. Languages known: English, Marathi, Hindi. Extracurricular activities: cricket, movies, theater. Okay. So I want you to write this particular section, other information. Just 4 चीज लिखने का आपको: age and date of birth, immediate family members, languages known, extracurricular activities. I'm repeating: age and date of birth, immediate family members, languages known, extracurricular activities. 4 चीजें लिखने का है. In your chat window, please write. I will check after 5 minutes time. Okay, I'm getting some responses now. Ankit is saying, yeah, okay, 5 family members, bank manager. I did not understand, Ankit, about bank manager. I don't understand. Jyoti is giving family members, yes. Language is known, extracurricular is very good, Jyoti. Mayur, age, date of birth, immediate family members, language is known. Kojema, age, date of birth, immediate family, language is known. Okay, extracurricular is very good. Jasprit Kaur, age, immediate family, good, good. Sarvesh, Bhumika, both of them have written well. Okay. Last two I'm going to take. Omvati, date of birth, family, okay, fine. Priyanka is also done. Family members, yeah. Okay, fine, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, let's go to the next section. Next section, let's go to that, right? Okay. Now, one of the sections in a resume is references. References, right? It is an asset if you have references in the industry. Why? Because your background check can be done with that person. You will be surprised to know that at a managing director level also, people, or the chairman level also, people call up the preferences given for doing a background check. Why? Because they would like to have a first hand information about that person, about his habits, about his personal traits. So in a resume, if you give references, you don't have to give a lot of references. Give 2 to 3 references, but industry references. Why personal references should not be given is because when it is a personal to personal relationship, everybody will talk only good about you, right? So when it comes to your professional relationships, and that is what is important in a job rather than a personal relationship, the immediate support superior or the colleague or the person who knows him may be able to relate that person, and you will be able to get better information about that candidate from him. So in your next exercise, now write 2 references. I'm going to give you an example. Like if it is my resume, I will say Mr. ABC, Managing Director of PQR Limited, and his phone number, some imaginary phone number. Second is Mr. whatever, Ramesh Sharma, Chairman of Dash Limited, and his phone number. That's it. Okay, so no need of giving the phone number also, because these are all important people, but just the name of the person, his designation, and the company where he belongs to, right? So please write in the chat window about the references, industry references. Do not give personal references at all. Okay, guys, I'm going to verify. Jyoti, ABC, India. Fine, Jyoti is right. Okay, Omvati, Kushagranath, Priyanka, okay, Kojima, Jaspreet, okay, Kojima again, okay. Okay, fine. More of all of you have done it a very nice way. Let's go to the next section, guys. Let's go to the next section. Okay. Now is on the font, right? Your resume you're writing. Now you're obviously composing a font, right? So which is the font you can use? Which is the font? So will you use a font which is, like very artistic? Will you use a font which is a professional one? Will you use a font which is, a fun element? Or will you use a font which is, quite faint in color? My suggestion is that I normally use Calibri, and that is, my official font as well. Uh, Always make sure that whatever you write, you keep it justified. See, in Word, you have got four things. One is uh, align to the left, align to the center, align to the right, and the fourth option is justified. What is justifying? It distributes your text evenly between margins, and it will give your document a clean and crisp edge to look at more polished. So आपका headings रहेगा, वो headings you can toy it around and you can keep it in center. But main matter, keep it justified. Why? Because you have those clean, crisp pages. It looks a very polished resume. I always tell my students that you should use the right words. Make sure your resume is written in an active voice, action-oriented words, right? Do not use words that could have been, would have been, I can do, I will do. Make some action words, active voice. Also, make sure that you use a correct grammar. Why? Because if you make mistakes in your resume, if you are in grammar, in punctuations, or in spellings, then it will create a bad impression. Also, what you should do is that do not use buzzwords, right? They have become overused. Overused. These jargons, people are using left, right, and center. Do not use them. Please use simple words. Simple words. Use words as earned, reach targets, maximize potential, produced so many units, outperformed in that season. So use words which are not just buzzwords, those jargons. Like typical jargons, like if you see in reports that for resumes is that I gave 110%. There's nothing like 110%. It is actually you're exceeding your target, right? Or say my core competency is so and so. Say that your skill is like that. Don't talk about competency. Or never say low hanging fruit. Say achievable results. Or people have a habit of writing reinventing the wheel in resume. So you say I did not reinvent the wheel. I actually took a different take and made some changes. So make sure you're not using jargons. Jargons will, unnecessarily create confusion. Another tip I can give to you is that, which I already saying that, make it very assertive. Do not make it, like a submissive resume. Show that, you are capable of doing the job. So being assertive does not mean that you have to be aggressive or pushy, but you should be very clear and effective. Be direct, to the point. Ensure that the reader or the HR department person will be able to relate to what it is written. Once you return the resume, review what is written. Why? Because you might find your mistakes by a review. Another tip, take external help. Always take external help if required and available. Why? Because that person will bring an independent outlook to your resume. He will be able to tell you what is wrong, what is not required, and what kind of corrections you can do. Another tip I can give it to you is that if you come across a resume, right, of somebody else, try to see what kind of size he's using, try to see what kind of methods he's using, try to see what kind of language he's using. If you are happy with it, you can improve your own resume, right? Now I come to the next session. Next session is on your using of the right words. Now there are some action words, right? Use action words. Which are the action words? Which conveys some action which is to be taken. So you can say introduce, persuade, mediate, consult, write, negotiate, discuss, brief. So any word which will signify that you are acting on something, there is some action, try to use that. Try to use that. Why? Because it will show that you are a proactive person. You are a person who is not just a talker but a doer. Always a person who is going to have a look at your resume, he will look at people who are going to do things and not just sit in the ivory tower and give directions, right? Always say that you are either interested in managing a project or people, or you have managed a project of people. So sometimes you might become business leaders. So try to use words where you manage teams. So words which will overseen departments or coordinated efforts or assignment of targets, assignment of jobs, supervision of tasks, designated authorities, mobilization of resources, mentored my teams, led my departments, instructed my subordinates, motivated my team. So try to use these words to show that you have managed a project, you have managed people. Why? Because every employer wants to groom leaders. They want to groom leaders. And that's why they are looking at potential candidates who can be leaders in the company. So that's the reason why in your resume, make sure you use words where you convey the emotion that you have managed people or projects, right? Then whenever you are in a company, right, you are not just the only person. It's always a teamwork. It's always a teamwork. You have to have coordinated efforts. You have to help everybody. You have to help support the people. Then only the goals are met, right? So in your resume also, try to use words and sentences which convey the feeling that you have worked with others to accomplish results. Try to use words like cooperate, share, suggest, contribute, join, support. Words which I will actually show that you are a team person and not just an autocratic leader. So what you have to convey is that that you are a team member who is more bothered about working with people to achieve the results. To show that you are a very professional person, try to put sentences in your resume which will show that you like organized things. You keep things organized. You can write saying that you have planned the efforts, you've centralized, you standardized operations, you have standardized the policies and procedures, you consolidated the efforts, you restructure organizations, you've arranged for some events in a proper way. You like scheduling. So try to make sure that whenever you're just talking about skills, use the right words, saying that you can convey things that you convey the opinion that you like to keep things organized. You can also put in your resume that how you have achieved results. I always told you that your accomplishments should come out. So try to use words like attained, earned, increased, exceeded, surpassed, outperformed, completed, boosted, generated, things which show or demonstrate that you are capable of achieving results, you have achieved results, and you are interested in achieving results. So, such words will add value to your resume. Any good resume should have got lots of adjectives. Make sure you use not exaggerating words, but adjectives which are fit enough to explain your personality. Use simple words. Do not just use words for the sake of things. We have already spoken, right, that you should use simple words. Now let's come to the last segment. I will be going now. So we've talked about all this. Now what I would like you to do is that you should see, you have already done a chronological resume. Now 2 resumes are still remaining to be solved in the exercise. One is a functional resume and the next is a combination resume. So I'm giving you exercise that you are applying for the job of a financial controller, but you have lost jobs in your career and there are gaps. So you are not going to use a chronological format of a resume. What you are going to do is you are going to use a functional format of a resume where you are going to talk about skills, abilities, expertise required for the financial controller's job. So what I would like you to do is that write a functional resume for the post of a financial controller. Now, as you know, what you're going to write, the name, contact information remains the same. Your resume headline, your objective, your since this is a functional resume, do not emphasize much on your work history. Talk about your skills, expertise, and abilities. Then quietly talk about your work experience. Talk about your educational experience, any accomplishments you've done, and yeah, other information and references. So quickly in the next, let's say the time is about 15:41. I'll give you about 10 minutes time or 15 minutes time. Let's say I'll give you 10 minutes time. Quickly jot down, you can write down points also of a functional resume. Yeah. So go to a chat window. You are writing a functional resume and you're going to up for the post of a financial controller. You're going to apply. So bear in mind, not much of work history, but lots of skills, abilities. I want to like you to write, and also include the other matters which are fixed matters in any resume, like name, contact information, and references and other information, accomplishments, etc. So all the best, guys. Use your chat window, and I will check in about 8 minutes time, or let's say 10 minutes time. I will have a quick look at what you've done. Yeah, write a functional resume. Yeah, students. Any responses? Somebody wants to show their answers? Okay, Mayur is writing something. Okay, Mayur is saying that his skills are trained in Excel, Word. Okay, he's having some rank in Tally also in Saraswati University. Okay, then Omvati is saying, so she's saying she's got 13 years good experience in fundamental concepts, excellent communication skills. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, Mayur and Omvati have attempted. Are there anybody else? Are there anybody else? Okay, I'm getting something from Abdul Qadir also now. So Abdul Qadir is giving objective very good. He's talking about his skills. He's talking about his education experience. Okay, Abdul Qadir, you've understood. Ankit is function, personal details to others. Skill will be sale. I'm not understanding what you've written, Ankit. And Jyoti has just written G, alphabet G. So I don't know what is the meaning of that. Okay, I think is that just 2 or 3? So Mayur and Omvati and Abdul Qadir. So just 3 responses. Okay, now I'm getting something from Ankit now. Okay, name, contact, okay, fine, objective, computer knowledge, tally, okay, fine. Ankit, now it's okay. Jyoti has also given something now. Right, Bhumika has given her answer. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, let's go back to our lecture. Let's go back to our lecture. Now I'm going to give you multiple choice questions for this portion, right? And I'm going to share the screen with you now. Okay, I'll be showing you the screen for a minute, and then I'll go on to the next screen. Yeah, I'll just share it in 1 minute. Okay, the first one, select the best answer. Select the best answer. Career objectives should never be mentioned in a resume. Career objectives should be mentioned in detailed manner. Career objectives should be mentioned in brief and clear manner. Career objectives should focus on past achievements. You have 4 objectives. Select the best answer. Okay, let me get on to the next slide. Okay, again, you got to select the best answer. A chronological format has a reverse chronological sequence of work history. Functional format has a reverse chronological sequence of work history. A combination format has a reverse chronological sequence of work history. Fourth, a chronological format has a reverse chronological sequence of work history and education. Let me go on to the next slide. Select the best answer. A, lofty words should be used in a resume. B, business jargon should be used in a resume. C, false exaggerations should be stated in the resume. D, words used in a resume should be simple and represent the factual reality. I'm going to the next slide. Fourth question. A, it is okay to have grammatical errors in a resume provided the information is right. B, the tone of the resume should be neutral and the matter should be free from grammatical errors. C, all possible information about you can be stated in the resume. D, covering letter and resume can have inconsistencies. So let me go to the last question now. Select the best answer. A, both the contact number and email ID should be correctly stated written in the resume. B, contact number can be excluded in the resume. C, email ID can be excluded in the resume. D, either of the contact number or the email ID should be mentioned in the resume. So give your answers in the chat window. I'm stopping the screen sharing now. Okay, don't give in piecemeal, don't give in piecemeal. I'm going to check only those which are in one line. Don't give answers in piecemeal. Okay, has anybody attempted all 5? Okay, Priyanka has given. So Priyanka C, D, D, D. So Priyanka gets all right. So does Omvati. And Abdul Kadir also gets it right. Jasprit gets it right. Ankit has written the numbers, so it's difficult for me to correct now. Mayur, I think there's some mistake. There's some mistake. Bhumika has got all right. Okay, guys, I think we are going to end the lecture now. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. I personally enjoyed, and let's have a rocking session tomorrow as well. Let's have it engaging. I'll ask you questions, you solve, and we'll make the most of the time given to us by the Institute. So thank you. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Bye.